Good morning. So nice to have you watching. You know, one of the intents of 3+U is to kind of celebrate and bring our community together for an hour every day. And as you watch the show, you have a chance to see people from all different fabrics and parts of our community come here to talk about what they are doing. It's a pretty special place where we live in the Tennessee Valley, and we're going to kick off the morning actually with one of those gyms that is truly a grassroots effort that every day changes lives, because for more than 10 years now, Chattanooga families have come together to celebrate children and adults living with autism, and while they are at it, educate all of us on the complexities and often the power that comes with that diagnosis. Dave Buck has long been a champion for the Autism Center here in town. He happens to be their executive director. Erskine Oglesby has walked the journey of autism as a parent, and they both join us this morning. So good to see you.
Oh, it's so nice to be back. Thanks for having us.
It's been a while, Dave, since you have been here, and as I was realizing you were coming through the door, I got kind of happy inside because I think the Autism Center really represents on a great level what grassroots efforts looks like here in Chattanooga. Your parent and Chattanooga created, right?
That's right. So parents were the ones that got together along with clinicians, along with advocates and autistic adults to build this, and they keep building it every year. That's why we've been so busy. We keep growing.
So the Autism Center is there every day to help the families who are impacted by the diagnosis of autism. But once a year, the whole community has a chance, Erskine, to come together at Coolidge Park and have be part of the Autism Walk. That's coming up, is it April 13th?
Yes, April 13th at Coolidge Park. Starts around 8 o'clock. We ask everybody to get there early so they can, have fun, look at the vendors and fellowship and learn and celebrate from each other.
So you've known me long enough to know that when you come sit on the couch, we kind of get personal, because I think people appreciate having a chance to hear somebody else's story. So you just shared something with me, Erskine. I learned last time you were here that your adult son has autism, so he will be there walking.
Yes,
But you now have a great nephew.
Yeah, I have a great nephew. He lives in Louisville. Last year they came down and partaked in the walk because it's something that's not necessarily unique to Chattanooga, but we do it so well. And I also have a great granddaughter.
Who's autistic
who's
as well?
autistic, and she's just turned 5.
So when you look at them, and Dave, you can speak to this too, y'all can kind of piggyback with each other, but the journey and the experience of your now adult son, very different than what your now great grandchildren and great nephew were going to experience.
Yeah, back when my son first was diagnosed, it was more of being mentally retarded because autism wasn't an accepted term, so to speak, a popular diagnosis back then. But over the years, more and more people are coming to understand and respect that autism is something that needs to be taken very seriously in their diagnosis. And by doing so, you're able to provide resources and other opportunities, because the spectrum is so expansive with autism. So
I use the word complex because no one diagnosis looks like somebody else's. Is that right?
That's right. So you have teachers, police officers, lawyers who are autistic, and the whole range of everything you can imagine. It's a very diverse population, so it's a very wonderful population as a result. And that's what we're doing, is we're celebrating that population. We're looking for inclusion and acceptance, and we're seeing that more and more as businesses ask for training about neurodiversity and wanting to make the best environment for their staff and the people they serve.
Right. Okay, so before we get into the walk on April 13th and how you go about getting your shirt, because everybody walks for the merch, right?
Sure.
Do you mind sharing the story that you just told me before we went on air about the couple that moved here?
Yeah, this is getting more common too. We get about 800-900 phone calls or emails and people asking about resources. Well, a couple walked in who moved here from the Blue Ridge Mountain area, neurodiverse couple, one is autistic, and they moved here because they felt and they knew there's more understanding and acceptance of neurodiversity and autism in this community.
So back then, to the 20-something years ago, when the Chattanooga Autism Center created, it was born from those people wanting the best for their loved ones. How could they know the outreach it would then bring all across the country?
And so many more people. I mean, it was hundreds of people who would call us every year, and now, like I said, it's up to 800 or 900 phone calls a year seeking assessments or support or just asking questions, and we're able to provide that for them. There's still a ways to go. There's so many gaps that we need to fill, but we're doing better each year.
So is the intent of the walk awareness only, or is it a fundraiser in a way too to go back and help the
So
center?
it's, in fact, awareness. If people know about autism, it's more about let's celebrate autism. Inclusion and acceptance is what it's about. But yes, this is the biggest fundraiser for the Autism Center. We don't get enough funding to support all of our programs. If it's not for businesses and people supporting us, we wouldn't exist. And this is our biggest.
Early intervention is key?
That is a big one, sure. So the earlier you can get support in schools or in therapy, or just your loved ones learning more about autism and embracing it, that's very helpful. But we have a lot of adults who are transitioning to getting jobs or marriage and things like that. And so those individuals need support too.
I only have a minute left, and I want to show people how they register, but to the adult point, there are probably adults watching who are autistic and never got a diagnosis by the nature of being an adult. Can they come to the center and get some help that way?
Soon. We have such a huge wait list that we are pulling people off from several years ago who are on that list. But we're going to be we're in contract now, hiring a full-time psychologist this fall. That'll go through the wait list, and then we're going to be able to support that. But the wait lists are huge everywhere.
Yeah. It's a real issue
for those people. It is a huge issue, and we're actually solving that.
Okay, what they've been doing forever.
I probably wasn't supposed to announce that, but that's happening.
Well, that's my fault. You can put the blame at my feet.
You get the scoop. You get the scoop.
So this is the 11th year for the Chattanooga Autism Celebration Walk. As Dave pointed out, that's a key word in the equation. You can register at ChattanoogaAutismWalk.com, and you have to do that online by Wednesday.
By Wednesday, right. If you miss the deadline to register, then shirts aren't guaranteed, but then you can register at the walk that Saturday morning. We'll have registration open around 9.
And have fun having your whole family here, Erskine.
Yeah, it's really a really great time of year. We have an opportunity to share with other families and individuals there. It's about hope, and it's about the community embracing the autistic community as somebody that's viable and an intricate part of what makes our humanity so great here in the city of Chattanooga.
Love it.
Just the other day, I had a customer. It's like she had to get up and go to the doctor. She went to open her garage door. Next thing you know, it's broke.
Precision Garage Door Service is always here for you.
We could be there quickly to get your door back on track.
Precision Door Service, a name you can trust.
Tax season is here at Linderman's Furniture. Shop Ashley sofa sets and sectional starting at $7.99. Leather reclining sofas up to $500.